Going on, Bucs fans? We are back here at the Pirate Parlay podcast here on the Sick Podcast Network. We've got a very, very special guest with us today. We've got tons of things coming on. We just spoke to the offensive and defensive coaches, and we'll get to those probably next week. We also have rookie minicamp coming up this week and the schedule release all happening within the next couple of days, next couple of weeks here. So busy time in Bucs land. You think it's all done after the draft, but no, sir. No, sirree, ma'am, mister, whoever is watching this. We are picking up speed here as we approach OTAs, mandatory minicamp, schedule release, and all that stuff. But that's all a discussion for another time because we've got a very special guest here. You guys will find out who it is after the break. See you right.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Pirate Parlay.
Battle intercepted, picked off in the end zone. Bucs are going to beat the Chiefs. We're the champions of the world.
The sickest Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast. It's going to be sick.
What is up? Back on the other side of the break, guys. Thanks for tuning in here. Everyone who's not in here, tell your friends. We've got a special guest here. We're not going to make him wait any further because he's been waiting long enough. Without further ado, Buccaneers 7th round draft pick, tight end out of Washington or Tampa North, as I like to call it. We got Devin Culp in the building. Devin, my man, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing excellent. How y'all doing today?
We're doing great, man. Sunny day in Tampa Bay. Get ready for it. It hit 96 degrees today. So I know you are a Washington boy through and through. We got a rainy season, but it's still hot during our rainy season. So, and you got rookie minicamp coming up. So you're going to get thrown into the heat real quick because it's been really hot down here recently. But first off, I want to thank you and congratulate you, obviously, being drafted by the Bucs. That's amazing. I did over 175 write-ups. I had you as one of them because I figured there's a connection there, right? You look at this roster.
Of course.
I think you're the 6th Husky on this team now. So
yeah.
There is a ton of crossover from that organization to here. But first off and foremost, congratulations. And just what was that night for you? What was the draft like for you? And what was it like getting that call?
Man, it was a super special moment. Obviously so many people work so hard to obtain, their lifelong dream. And, for a lot of people, sometimes it doesn't come true. But, luckily, the Bucs have given me the opportunity to, make that dream come true. And, I couldn't be more blessed and more excited to come down there. Like you were talking, away from home, Washington kid through and through. But I'm excited to come down to Tampa and, get ready to put in some work.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great locker room. I think you're going to mesh right in. It's full of guys who are just working hard, grinding, and trying to be the best they can be for themselves and for the team. So when you look at it, we mentioned Husky South, down here, or Husky North, where you got drafted from. But what has your communication been like? Obviously, I'm sure you talked to Jalen McMillan, for those who aren't on nickname terms yet. But have you spoke to Cade? Have you spoke to Joe? Have you spoke to those guys? And what have those conversations been like?
Yeah, so I've spoken with Cade, J-Mac, of course, and it's been really cool this past week and a half or so. Me and Joe have actually been up at our gym at FSP in Bellevue, getting it in. So we've just been grinding. I've been able to pick his brain, ask him what it's like, the culture, coaches, everything like that. I understand, there's been a little bit of shift and change, but it's been nice to be able to have him around. And, Vita was actually just up here. I saw Vita on Friday. I got to meet him for the first time because he was up here for the spring ball game. So, I'm excited to get to work with these guys. And I've heard nothing but great things about the type of organization and the type of people that I'm about to be surrounded with. So definitely excited.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, a great locker room, great culture they built here, great coaches and everything like that. Did you a little trash talk with Joe while you guys were in the gym? Like, I'm coming for you. Those battles are picking back up again because you guys.
Oh yeah, there's been a little bit of talk, poking fun. The competition is always, it's the best part of football. Just going out there and be able to compete with your brothers and trying to make each other better day in and day out. That's what it's really all about. So, we're excited to be down there together.
So you were a 4-year starter varsity in basketball in high school, actually won state championship as well. Why football? And how does basketball help you on the football field?
Yeah, so why football? Honestly, just because on the recruiting side of things, I wasn't getting, as big of offers in terms of basketball stuff. My very first football offer was Oregon. So, me being 16 and trying to be realistic about my future. And, I watch all the Balls Life videos and all the different stuff like you do in high school. And you see the type of guys that coaches have their eyes on. And, I kind of stopped growing around, 6'3" and a half, 6'4". So, I kind of thought, with my skill set and already, having a little bit of a foot in the door with the recruiting on the football side, I could just, make that my pathway to, become, my lifelong dream, which was becoming a professional athlete, whether that was football or basketball.
Well, you can see that you kind of utilize that. I think Dane Brugler said you're almost like a small forward once you get the ball once you get the ball and you're at the point of attack. But you really kind of blew people away at the combine. I mean, you're 4.47 is the fourth fastest for tight ends in the history of the combine, which has got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
Yeah, where do you see your fit in this offense as far as the Bucs? Have you talked to some of the coaches, as far as Coach Peel, as far as Coach Van Dam, and Coach Cohen? With that speed, where do you think they're gonna find ways to utilize you? How do you fit in?
Yeah, I think they're gonna find ways to integrate me in, whether it's 11 or 12 packages. Just trying to use my athleticism, get me out in space, create mismatches. Whether it's on smaller DBs or slower linebackers, whatever the case may be. And really, they kind of know my mentality and my mindset, and that's whatever is asked of me. Whatever my role is, I'm gonna embrace it to the best of my abilities. So whether that's being a Y, being an F, I'm really there to do it all, whatever they ask.
Now you played mostly inline at Washington, but you're probably going to play more of that F role in the league. How do you feel about profiling more as that F than that traditional Y tight end?
No, I feel comfortable. Honestly, I'm excited for it. I feel like no knock on coaches or anything like that. I just feel like sometimes my attributes weren't utilized or maximized to what their full potential and what they can be. So I'm excited to continue to grow as a football player, and that F position will be fun to learn because I've always been excited about when I am the F in offenses, just their role is you're able to be explosive, control the middle, be a big time asset, for the team. So I'm excited to learn that F role.
Yeah, when you look at it, last year you really only used there about 10% of the time, 20% in the slot, and then the rest of it kind of as that traditional inline. With that, how do you feel like you're going to be able to complement a guy like Evans and Godwin the best? Is that as a seam runner to open up digs, or outs to take the safeties off the post, etc.? How do you feel like you're going to, be able to complement those two guys on the field, and Cade if you're on the field with him at the same time as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll be able to complement all those guys depending on the package and whatever's asked of me. I think I'll be able to spread the field, stretch it, and create those mismatches that we're looking for. And it's going to put binds because there'll be mismatches all over the field. It's just hard to guard all those types of weapons. And I also think in the run game, I know a big emphasis for our offense this year is we want to be able to establish that run game and be able to shove it down your throat a little bit more. And so with me being that blocking tight end, these guys like my film and they know what I'm capable of in the run game. So I think it will open up avenues for Mike and Godwin and guys on the outside as well, because that play action starts to become more of a weapon once the run game gets going, and so all that stuff will start to translate into the games and everything.
And this new offense is going to feature a lot of motion, a lot of moving motion at the snap. That's something with your speed. Do you think that you can, that will help accentuate your skill set too? If you're being moved in motion and all of a sudden you have a 5'9" nickel cornerback or like a 6-foot linebacker, how useful do you think that's going to be for you to create mismatches and advantageous positions for you to make plays?
Yeah, no, I think it'll be huge. That was a part of our system and our philosophy as an offense with Washington these past couple of years. Those pre-snap motions and shifts. It makes it hard on defenses to they got to check in and out of things. There's got a lot of communication that goes on. Guys end up miscommunicating in wrong spots, and can create holes and zones, or like you mentioned, create those mismatches. You got guys on guys you don't want to be guarding that. So I think it will be a great tool, immense tool for our offense this year.
Now you got the height 6'3". The combine you're at 231. At your pro day you're at 238. Is there a target weight you're trying to hit? Are you trying to get a little bit bigger, bulker? What's your trying to goal weight? Obviously, this last couple months don't count because you're not training for football, right? You're training for the underwear Olympics and 40 times and verts and short cones and all this stuff. So where do you see yourself trying to settle in and playing at least for this year? It's not next year, going into next year.
Yeah, I mean, probably in the 240s, anywhere between 238 to 245, just enable to, feel like I have the lead in my pants to, hold myself in the run game, but, also have that twitchiness, explosiveness, and, just speed, that I have naturally. So don't want to get too big, but also, there's some big fellas on that edge in that C gap in this league. So definitely don't want to be too light in the pants.
As far as, everyone's got things there. You talk to a guy like Rob Gronkowski when he was here, what are you trying to work on? And he'd tell you there's a list of things. So what do you think are some of your biggest strengths? Obviously, everyone goes through, they list your strengths in the scouting and they list your weaknesses and whatever, or things you need to improve on. What do you think are maybe some of your biggest strengths that weren't mentioned by people? And then some things that you want to continue to improve on at the next level.
Yeah, my whole thing is continuous growth. So I feel like I can grow in every area of my game, but some places where I feel really confident in are, honestly, my pass protection. I feel like when you cut on my tape, that's something that will surprise a lot of teams and a lot of people. That's kind of where my basketball skill set comes into play. I'm just out there playing defense on guys, mirroring, trying to lock up, and so I think that's something that I've honed in on in the last few years, and definitely made a big use out of it in my toolbox. Along with that, just staying with the blocking. I feel like in the run game, you could always be cleaner. I know that just taking the right angles, taking the right footwork, having the right hand placement, right pad level, all that stuff, just the consistent muscle memory, constantly working on it, and combining that with, learning your new schemes and how your coaches want it is going to be huge as well. But things that I think I could improve on the most, I think, just overall cleaner at the top of my routes, whether that's a curl, creating separation on an in route, making my routes all look kind of the same with that low pad level, making it all look like a vertical threat, all those small details that go in to be, a detailed, good, clean route runner. I think those are all things that will continue to be polished as I'm developed in the league.
Now you look at last season compared to seasons prior, your drop rate was highly improved as far as catching the ball, showing strong hands. We'll get into some of these things after because, my goodness, I don't know what you were doing out there on the field with some of those catches, man. you got some like circus, some trapeze in your background at all or anything like that. But just what do you credit being more efficient catching the ball last year too?
Yeah, I would just say, obviously, all credit to myself, really, just putting in that work, caring about it, making it an emphasis, because, earlier on in my career, it's something that, a lot of people would have said that I struggled with. And I wanted to prove to not only myself, but, I want to be there for my team and for my university. And, because I want to be a part of those moments that help your team win. And so I just took it upon myself to get on the jug machine, tennis ball machine, any hand-eye coordination work, catching that I could do out there with Mike and, the receivers 3-4 times a week, throwing, running routes, just all the different little things that I could do to, work on my skill, my craft, but, also build that camaraderie and that trust and that chemistry, with my teammates and my quarterback as well. Those were the most major things for me over the past couple of years. Just really dialing in and, staying consistent with it. Like I said earlier, like just making a point of emphasis, like, man, you got to be there for your teammates, man. You got to be that reliable pass catcher, because, you know what I'm going to do. And me, I know what I'm going to do in the run game and blocking and all those different things. I'm going to fight my ass off for my guys. It's what I do. That's my role, It's part of being the tight end job. That's what I love about being a tight end so much is, it's not all about the glory and the touchdowns and all that stuff. It's almost feels just as good to get that touchdown block, or you're fighting your ass off on a pass pro and you see that ball go deep and your receiver goes up to make that big play. Like, man, that stuff's exciting. It's like, man, running down there celebrating. It's just so fun. So there's so many different parts of being a tight end that I love, and so I'm looking forward to all of it.
It mixes the best of both worlds, truly, and maybe you'll get some of that opportunity right this year when you're blocking, the ball goes deep and J-Mac comes down with the touchdown, and you guys will be recreating last year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which would be awesome. I want to go back to those crazy catches and just like the no quit, right? You talked about that no quit attitude. That scramble touchdown against SC and then the diving catch against Arizona were just a few examples of you just not quitting, right? You doing whatever, whether it's a crazy catch or whether you making guys miss and getting into the end zone. Just kind of talk to me about some of your improvisation skills, because that's not a traditional way to catch a ball, man. But you come down with these circus catches, and the level of concentration has to make those, and then just not quitting on the play and being able to find your way to the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would just have to attribute that to, kind of what I spoke on earlier, just wanting to be there for my teammates, because I was surrounded by a bunch of talent, as we know, a bunch of draft picks in the receiver room and, amazing quarterbacks. So I knew when my opportunities came to me, I had to make the best of them. And, that's what I try to do. I just reverted back to, my training and my coaching, and, just put the rest in God's hands, and, it was taken care of. Like I think about, that catch for against Arizona, it's 3rd and 16. We're trying to get in the red zone. Arizona's playing us tough. We're down in the desert. The dogs in the desert don't usually, sometimes we kind of, we having some struggles in the desert sometimes. So, it was just a huge moment where we're going fast, get the play call. I see the coverage. I see, this is a mismatch. In my mind, I'm like, if Mike sees what's on me, we both got the same. We're thinking this is a mismatch. And Mike Penix is the king of the back shoulder throw. So I was just kind of in the back of my head, I'm thinking, be ready for the back shoulder. It was right there, went to go high pointed and clamped that thing on my helmet. And it was just a great play. And then boom, next thing, like I said, boom, next play, I got a touchdown block. We're going to run the jet sweep to the left, and Jerem runs in there, and boom, so yeah, man, it's exciting. It's an exciting play. And like I said, yeah, I just it goes back to my training, it's all the hard work that you put in behind the scenes and in the dark. And when that spotlight finds you, you're going to be ready, as long as you haven't cheated the grind, All
right. There's not many like tight ends that kind of are like you, right? With the size, the speed. Obviously, I said four tight ends in the history of the combine. You're one of the fastest there. So who's someone you kind of like modeled your game after? Is it someone who kind of shares the similar attributes to? Or who's your like role model as tight end? Who do you watch film when you cut up film and you're like, all right, I want to watch this guy?
Yeah, there's a few that I definitely like come to mind for me. First being like Darren Waller. I watched like Darren Waller, Jonnu Smith, David Njoku, and then I love to watch Kittle. I feel like Kittle, in my opinion, he's one of the most well-rounded overall in terms of what you're looking for in a true tight end. He does it all in the run game and the pass game, in my opinion. So, can learn a lot from watching his tape as well. So those are all some guys that I kind of try to model myself from. And then obviously, I played with Cade for four long seasons over there at UW. So learned a ton from him, model a bunch of my game after him as well. And, huge shout out to him as well. Just, my overall approach to football in general, just the professionalism, trying to be as consistent as possible. You want to talk about consistent, reliable, all that stuff, that's Cade Otton. And, a lot of the stuff I just tried to, model after him. Me and Jack Westover both did following it during our time at UW. And so I'm excited to be, I texted him that after we got drafted. I was like, man, I can't believe I'm so excited to be back in the tight end room with Cade and be back to working with him, man. He's a great dude and, a great tight end. So.
What are you going to follow up with him with no gloves? You're going to go bare hands or?
No, that's the OG. That's him, man.
Hey,
that's all Cade. He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
All right, I got a couple questions. Then we'll do some rapid fire, and then we'll get you out of here. So if you could play any other position, obviously you kind of play two, right, with offensive line and wide receiver in that Tight end role, but any other position, what would you play? Offense or defense?
Man, realistically, probably a safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd be like that big body, like
Oh
Cam
yeah.
Chancellor type of just come downhill, one of those.
Take your head off
Yeah,
type guy.
big old safety, Brian Dawkins.
Oh man, if only we could have those types of safeties back in the NFL.
Man,
So two things, kind of, what's something that Bucs fans might not know about you? Obviously, they're still getting to learn about you, and we got awesome. If you guys are familiar with the podcast, you know what I'm going to do here. Get to know more about him here. What's something they might not know about you?
something you might not know about me is my faith. You see my sweatshirt, it says a
Yeah.
believer. And I firmly believe that, Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. And so that's one thing y'all might not know about me. Another thing you might not know about me, I'll give you two, is I'm looking at her right now. I'm a cat dad. So
Okay,
yeah,
same.
my cat's name's Biscuit. So
Oh,
she's
nice.
she's the best.
I Burnt Biscuits coming to Tampa.
Yeah, she'll be down here eventually once I get things sorted out.
Right. Yeah, I'm a
Yes,
cat
sir.
dad too, unfortunately. Unfortunately. It's great, like, when, you're loving them, but I've got no one in my family takes care of it but me. So that's,
Right. Right.
I'm the full-time cat dad in a house full of people. But yeah. So my other question is for you. So when you're not playing football, off-season type stuff, what do you like to do for fun? What are your hobbies? What do you like to get into?
Yeah, aside from hanging out with my cat and my girlfriend, I'll probably say, I love to get out in nature. Obviously being a Washington kid, we have a ton of amazing parks, a ton of, amazing just things to go out and see. So hiking, going to parks, being by the water, um, and just finding sanctuary in that. There's nothing more peaceful to me than sitting next to, some dirt and rocks in a tree and having that water crash up on you. It would be a little different down Florida. It'll be, some
It
sand
will.
and beaches and all that type of stuff. But yeah, I just love to get out in nature, really.
Yeah, it will be, but I have some spots for you. So I'll text you out there once you get
Sweet.
settled in. I've got a few spots. There's a place that's got like some rapids and stuff like that. Wicked cool. And that's, you get hear that water crackling a little bit. Of course, gators everywhere, so you gotta be careful, but we'll get into that. I'm gonna do some rapid fire here. We'll get into that. And then I actually have a surprise for you.
Okay,
So
okay, okay, okay.
we'll get into that afterwards. So this or that rapid fire. Just kind of off the cuff. This or that, Xbox or PlayStation?
Uh, Xbox. I don't
Uh,
know. I don't play video games, so I don't know.
Okay. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Okay. All right. Moving in the right place. Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
Favorite hero?
Deadpool.
Favorite villain? I guess that's kind of both right there, right?
I guess it kind of is, huh?
Is it anti-
Favorite villain? I gotta go Joker.
Joker's great. City boy or country boy?
Ooh, city boy. But I've come from a lot of small town roots in my family, so I don't mind going to the country too.
All right. Country's nice to relax. City's
Yeah,
nice for
quiet.
convenience.
The quiet is nice.
Right. Car or truck?
uh, truck.
What are you pushing right now?
I got SUV. I drive an SUV, CX-5 Mazda, baby, Mazda
Yeah.
gang.
All right. All right. Are you more of a movie guy or a TV series?
TV.
What are you watching now? Anything good?
Just finished up a few. Watched The Boys recently.
So good.
Yeah, The Boys is fire. Another one called Misfits, and then I just started up Shogun on Hulu. So
That's on my to-do list.
yeah,
Literally, I think I'm either starting it tonight or tomorrow, but I've been wanting to
yeah,
see it
it's
for a
pretty good so far. I'm only on like second episode, but it's pretty good so far.
Yeah, it's good. Did you watch Westworld?
No,
That's a good one. Once you're done with Shogun, go back to Westworld. You're like
I
that.
but if the people out here are looking for some movie recs, if you haven't seen Dune and then Dune Part 2, I
It's
recommend that.
It's coming
Fire,
to HBO Max soon too. So if you got Max, you can definitely check that out. Speaking of
definitely.
that, favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Oh man, there's so many good ones. So many good ones. I'll have to say, I'll just go with the classic. I'll go with Friday.
Friday's great. Next Friday. I like next Friday better, but Friday's great.
There's some good ones though, man. Some classics out there.
Mystic Warrior. Favorite sports team growing up?
Chicago Cubs. Surprisingly enough.
Yeah, that
my dad hates it because he's from Southside Chicago. He's a White Sox fan.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah,
That's
me and my auntie Fern we're the outsiders of the family.
I mean, what's better than growing up in Washington, not being a Mariners fan, and having an interfamily rivalry? That's awesome.
Right.
Favorite place you've ever visited?
Probably Rome. I got to study abroad this past summer. It was a super cool experience.
Awesome.
So getting to go to Italy was super cool.
That's awesome. Favorite food?
Actually Italian food.
Perfect. I got some spots for you.
Yeah, it was a perfect trip for me.
I got some good spots for you. These people like straight from Sicily, like they're straight off the boat. You hear them yelling at each other in the kitchen and stuff like that in Italian. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's fire. That's how you know it's gonna come out good.
Yeah, exactly, bro. You could go to this upscale restaurant, but no, these people are yelling at each other. You know it's good. Favorite cereal?
I like Cinnamon Life.
Okay, that's a different one. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a goat, but Cinnamon Life is good. At least you got the cinnamon right. Favorite game?
Gotta try and be a little healthier. You know, I gotta try and be a little healthier.
I hear you. It's once in a while. And cereal hits way better at night than morning time, anyways.
That's fact.
Favorite game you've ever watched?
Favorite game I've ever watched? Probably Game 7 of the 3-1 comeback for LeBron and the Cavaliers versus the Warriors. That was epic game.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Favorite color?
Green.
TV show?
Shameless.
Favorite sports memory? Shameless is good.
Winning the Pac-12 championship.
There you go. Favorite dessert?
I can't cheat. Brownies.
Okay.
Well, cheesecake is up there for me too, though. I love cheesecake.
Just mix them, bro. Just mix the brownie cheesecake.
Brownie cheesecake. There you go.
Favorite season?
Summer.
Favorite player growing up?
Adrian Peterson.
Okay, yeah. And favorite game you ever played in?
National championship.
Right.
Definitely. That's unforgettable.
Even if you didn't, come away with
it. Right. Man, it was the journey to get there too, to just be able to have that platform, man. It was dope. It was unforgettable.
Last 14 playoff too before they go to the extended. So
yeah.
So I teased a surprise for you. And he's a great man of his word. He's someone that you look up to, as a matter of fact.
Hey.
Surprise.
What's up, Dev?
Let's go. What up,
Cade Otton in the building.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Brother.
I'll be down there. I'll be down there soon, man. I'll be right there in the palm trees with you soon. I'm leaving tonight.
It's pretty nice. It's a little hot. It'll be an adjustment for sure, but you'll like it.
Most definitely. I know you look like you've been getting that sun, man. You look good. Nice and tan.
Yep.
Accentuates his eyes,
Yes, sir. How's Sierra been?
She's good. Yeah, baby's getting bigger, so she's getting a little more uncomfortable. But we'll have a little one running around soon.
So exciting, bro! I'm so excited for you. I can't wait.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, pumped to have you here.
Yeah, most definitely.
So obviously, you guys have been working out in the sun. I told him get ready because it's like 96 degrees today.
Oh yeah.
And he's from Washington. So as you know, like you're from there, it's going to definitely be an adjustment. But what are some of the things, go back 2 years ago, what's some advice you would give Devin coming into rookie mini camp and then OTAs? What do you think are the biggest things he needs to focus on this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him a little about the weather already. It's just different. Like you'll adjust in time. I don't want to freak him out, but you'll adjust.
Yeah. No, I've heard.
But I think the biggest thing is like how you kind of get in your own head, like it's the NFL and stuff, but it's really just football. So just, play fast, don't play how you always do, and you'll be fine.
As far as obviously you guys got a new position coach, but John Van Dam's still in the building. What have you kind of learned? Give him a little inside hint on how to get on Coach Peel's good side.
I don't know if I know yet. No, he's great though. He's like he's a former player, like played in the league for a long time, so he gets it, and you just come to work every day and study your playbook and work hard. And at the tight end position, we have to do a lot, and this, Dev, from being in our offenses at UW, like you're going to be asked to do everything, and just part of the job. And Coach Peel, he expects us to do it all well, so you just work hard at it, and you'll be good.
Most definitely.
You guys have one of the youngest, or the youngest, probably tight end room league in the league. How does that make you guys feel? To kind of, obviously, Cade, you didn't come out the field last year, 98% of the snaps. Devin, you're going to try to come and take some of those snaps away from him, hopefully.
Man, I help with the wear and tear a little bit, man. Get some maintenance going for my guy.
But I'm like, when you do have that room, right, and you do have a new tight ends coach that's coming into the room, how much more important is it for you guys to take ownership of that room and just kind of be the ones who are setting the tone day in and day out?
Yeah, totally. It's been fun. I think, I don't know, like when I had veterans in the room with Cam and Kyle my first year, they were both awesome. And, they're both really established. So they didn't really see us as like threats to their career, I guess, and I could see how that would happen in other circumstances. But I guess all of us being young, like we're just, learning together, like trying to get better together. And we all feel like tight knit as a group. And I know, just like being with Devin, that he's going to fit right into that. And so I'm super pumped to have him.
So I asked him if he's going to go barehanded like you. He said he's going to stick with the gloves. That's your thing.
Yeah, I don't recommend it for everyone. But more power to you if you can.
Did you get him on board yet with rookie snacks? You tell him what everyone likes as far as pain and Coke. He's gonna be on Davy Wells.
Any snacks. We'll see if we can come up with something. But we're honestly a pretty low maintenance group. We don't need much.
All right.
We'll see if we come up with anything for you, but probably not really.
I can't wait.
Either way.
Yeah.
I can't wait to the first day of minicamp where I see Devin carrying Cade's pads off the field for him.
Oh yeah. No, you won't see that.
Welcome to the NFL. Any other last part? I'll get you guys both out of here. I appreciate the heck out of you both. Cade, you already know how I feel about you. Devin, can't wait to get to know you more as a person and as a player. But any final parting words you guys have for each other, for Bucs Nation watching, before I get you guys out of here?
Man, just excited to get to work, shoot for Buc Nation, and obviously with you, Cade. I'm excited to be down there in the room with you again. And yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. Most definitely, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess just the team outlook in general, like being able to bring back a bunch of our key pieces from last year, and then having new guys come in to push everyone and just make us better in general. And I'm a huge fan of Dev's and what he can bring to the table, and so it's him and the rest of his class. It's going to be really fun to see what they can do and how they'll make us better, and it should be a fun time.
The rest of his class, including another Husky. What are we doing here with J-Mac in the building too? We got Vita, we got Greg, we got Joe, we got Cade, we got J-Mac, and we got Devin here. 6 Huskies. Y'all are going to be running, patrolling that locker room. That's going to be a great time. I mean, what's that? What was in the water there? I mean, like, what's happening there? Are you guys, are we moving to Alabama now? Is that where we're going to see the influx of Alabama guys now that half the staff is there? Or was that more Peterson thing? What do you think?
I don't know. Coach Pete recruited both of us.
Yeah,
and,
we're both
and the rest
Pete,
of the guys.
Right.
I don't know. I think, what do you think, Dev? Why do you think a bunch of us have made it here?
I mean, to be honest, I really do think it has to do with some of those principles that Coach Pete leaves you with, whether it's you get to hear it for 4 years or like me, I only got to hear it for 2 years, but you kind of have these things ingrained in your mind of just a certain standard and expectation that you carry yourself with. in the way that you approach football and your off the field life. And so I think it just, as you can see, it translates to us turning into pros. All you really got to do is just kind of, keep the faith and see it through. And, at the end of the day, it will kind of all take care of itself. As you've seen, a bunch of these Coach Pete guys have now ended up, and now it's, there's a bunch, Kyler, Trent, and this year with our class, Eddie and Dom and Cade and Vita, and there's been some Miles Bryant, and the list goes on and on and on. And, I think a lot of it just has to do with those principles that Coach Pete gives us.
What do you think, Cade?
Totally. Yeah, I second that. I think I don't know. We always had like a lot of good players on our team. It sucks that it didn't turn into as many wins as it should have until last year for you guys. I'm a little jealous, but that's all right. But yeah, I think we just had such a good roster all the time that a lot of guys had to like wait their turn and work super hard until they got their shot. And we had a good culture of like working hard and like focus on football, to where like guys have gotten a lot of reps and hours in at, playing the game at a high level in practice, and then it shows up in the game, and then you're able to come to the league. And even if you have to wait your turn here, like you still have those habits of working hard every day and getting ready to prove yourself. So yeah, it's been super fun to see that.
I agree.
It's going to be super interesting next year when the Bucs are on the clock, whenever it is in the draft. If they say, you know what, we love Payne, we love Co, but we want an all Husky tight end row, and bringing Ryan in,
Yeah,
brother, and then just a three of y'all falling out. That'd be crazy. Imagine, that'd be crazy. But guys, I want to thank you guys so much.
Oh, did he cut out? I can't hear him. Can you?
yeah, I can't hear him either.
Oh, okay.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh. Daily battle with technology, man. Where are you at right now? You at the crib? Or are you hanging out? What you doing?
Yeah, I'm at the house.
Nice.
Yeah, you'll come see it sometime. It's
Oh yeah, most
You
definitely.
like
I got to find a way to get out of that hotel somehow.
oh yeah, you will. We'll get you out of there.
Yeah, for sure. Oh
No, can't
hear me now?
see you.
Oh yeah, can hear you now.
there
Yep.
you are.
There
Yeah,
you
you
go.
guys just kept the show going. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyways, again, I want to thank you guys for both coming in here. Been a pleasure. Cade, as always, you're the man. I'll see you in 2 weeks, OTAs. Devin, I'll see you on Friday, my man. Be nice to
Yes,
meet you in
sir.
person. Thank you guys
Most
again
definitely.
for popping in here, and we'll see you soon.
All right, take it easy,
All right,
boys.
see you, Deb. See
All
you soon.
right, see you, kid.
You guys go. You never know what's going to happen here. We got technical difficulties going on in here, but we've got Cade Otton. We've got Devin Culp, rookie, the 7th round rookie. It's always a fun time over at the Pirate Parlay podcast. So make sure you guys are tuning in. If you're not on, if you're watching on Twitter, head over to YouTube. Make sure you turn the likes, notifications, subscribe, all that stuff on there. Make sure you guys are following us, Pirate Parlay, on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow me at JC on NFL on Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it nowadays. You guys know the deal. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, make sure you guys follow me. All of our work is over at Bucs Game Day by Sports Illustrated. So check us out there, and appreciate you guys for tuning in, as always, to another edition of Pirate Parlay here on the Sick Podcast Network. I'm JC, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast Pirate Parlay on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.